This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun. No.
Y'all, just stop. This is a sham.
Just wanna say TV, you are my best friend. You got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need.
Welcome to DBL.
Not a homie, but a friend. Just a friend. Just a friend.
That's pretty good for a Monday, guys. It's Monday, September 20th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Tori and Erica. Feeling last night's Emmys, huh?
I mean, you know,
At least the beginning?
Just the beginning.
Yeah. The beginning was good. There were really great moments in there.
Well, why don't we get into some of those moments? Because it was TV's big night at the Emmys, and a few shows took home the majority of all the awards. So Ted Lasso scored big wins for comedy, with Jason Sudeikis winning Outstanding Lead Actor, and two of his co-stars won for Supporting Actor and Actress in a Comedy Series. Netflix The Crown reigned supreme, winning Outstanding Drama Series, and 4 actors took home trophies, including Olivia Colman, Josh O'Connor, Gillian Anderson, and Tobias Menzies, who wasn't even there. Finally, the Queen's Gambit checkmated the competition, taking home the last award of the night for Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series. So I looked up what Anthology Series was, by the way, because they said that a lot last night. It was tripping everybody up. It's just a series where they don't have the same actors, like Black Mirror, each episode, but different actors.
It's like episode and then a totally different episode.
Or like Fargo, you know, they have the same episodes, but each season they change.
Actors.
So that's what Anthology Series means, because I was confused about that. I didn't quite understand it.
Very good.
Nobody cares about that at all, huh? They said it 800 times yesterday. I thought maybe somebody would ask that question. Apparently not.
No, it's good to know. Thank you for sharing.
All right, well, tell me your little cute tidbits that you had planned.
I don't have any cute tidbits. I watched. I thought that the show, I mean, there's so much to talk about. Like, how are we going to even, let's break it down?
Listen, I just gave you Anthology Series. It's your turn.
I know.
I'll just say this, that Rita Wilson should never rap again. If you didn't know
Why
that.
Why not?
Because it reminded me of Chet and the whole thing was weird.
That's where he gets it from.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all. I thought it was super bizarre.
I was feeling it.
I didn't like it.
Rita Wilson rapping, took over the internet for at least 3 days.
I know.
Like last year when it happened, we're like, oh, we get it now.
We totally get
We knew
Chet.
it wasn't Tom.
No.
Dude, what's going on? It's all weird up here.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I thought that was the best part of the night, by the way. LL Cool J came out. That's how you start a show with LL Cool J. I don't know what's going on over here, but a lot of people online are criticizing the award show with the hashtag #EmmySoWhite trending on Twitter. No black actors won big awards despite a record number 49 being nominated. But there were some milestone moments. It was a big night for RuPaul. He became the most awarded person of color in history with his 11th win for RuPaul's Drag Race. Debbie Allen also made history as the first black woman to win the Governor's Award. And finally, Michaela Cole became the first black woman to win the Emmy for Best Limited Series Writing for her HBO show, I May Destroy You. Michaela gave a very moving speech dedicating her award to survivors of sexual assault. Let's take a look.
Write the tale that scares you, that makes you feel uncertain, that isn't comfortable. I dare you.
Okay, so when Michaela Cole won, I was actually eating pho. So I was
Are
like,
you pronouncing that right? Because I'm always confused about the
correct.
pronunciation.
She's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I was mid-soup and I jumped up, so there was a big splash and I was like, yes, yes, like you would have thought I was in the house, because I mean, I was actually preparing myself to be like, whatever, and just turn it off, because I didn't think they were going to give it to her. And when she won, I was like, this is iconic. And her 30-second speech, which pretty much is the length of her speech, was so dynamic. And she spoke to the writers. She's like, this is for the writers, but I would say that this was for everyone who really saw themselves in this story as a survivor of sexual assault, because that silence and that quietness that we were in June of 2020 when this premiered, because of the pandemic, forced us all to take a moment and take a look at what is our story and how do we want to tell it. I certainly felt that way, and I felt like for her to win in this category in particular was so dynamic, and that standing ovation really said everything. So it was such a beautiful, proud moment, and I was very excited, even with soup all over myself.
Were you full of excitement?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I also thought that was a great moment, and I loved her writing, and I loved her speech, and it was short. That's what I also liked. It was just interesting to me that so many of the same won so many of the same categories. Like the density of Ted Lasso and The Crown, like the amount of times they won instead of any kind of sprinkling out amongst any other kind of show was so different from what the Emmys is trying to do, which is we're diverse, we're diverse. And first, in fact, Awkwafina even said, I was called by the Emmys, oh, for my show? No, to be a presenter. And it's like there's this like weird disconnect between what the Emmys is trying to promote and what's actually winning. Who's winning? Who is voting? I mean, I think we need to look at that whole section because the voting and the winning and the promotion are on two different levels right now.
But just watching the show visually, it was very diverse. The room was very diverse. Cedric the Entertainer, by the way, did an excellent job, I thought. He was hosting the show. When it came to the big wins, there were no people of color, and I think that's where the disconnect comes from. But it comes from the voting, right?
I agree.
If you connect more with someone who went through sexual assault, right? If they have no one on that panel of voters, whoever it is voting for them, that show's not going to win, right? So the more diverse you get in the voting, the more the diverse winners are going to be, right?
I think Emmy So White needs to be a calling card for them to change the voting block. And remember, The Weeknd talked about the Grammys. There's little clubs in different politics. What's going on at the Emmys that this continually happens, even though they're promoting diversity?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When Tori was talking about the sprinkling, you would have thought based on the diversity. First of all, you have to see the way that the world is changing just by virtue of the fact that these shows, the shows that were winning, were streaming shows as opposed to shows on broadcast.
Right, cable.
That you're seeing that shift. But also when you get shows like Pose, and then MJ Rodriguez, the first trans actress nominated for Best Actress. These are things that I know that people are like first, but also it's a part of the culture of Hollywood. It's a part of the culture of who these people are as actors and entertainers. Why is that not translating?
To the
and is it because there's still this hold on the way that it's always been? Mainly because sometimes when people see the way that it's going, they feel like they're going to be erased in the process.
Yeah, well, we mentioned it right now. With only a handful of shows winning all the big awards, the majority of the people at the Emmys were losers, okay? So during the Emmys, actors Scott Bakula, Zooey Deschanel, and Allison Hannigan poked fun at themselves in a skit showing them in an Emmy losers support group, including the biggest loser of all, Seinfeld's Jason Alexander. Let's take a look.
I've been nominated 8 times, 7 consecutive for playing George Costanza. Costanza.
Yes.
We all love it.
Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him.
Yeah. I lost all 7 times.
That was one of my favorite moments of the night. Another loser, Conan O'Brien, stole the show by heckling and saluting the Television Academy presidents during his speech, and even joined Stephen Colbert and his staff on stage during his Emmy win. Okay, so 2 parts here. I want to go back to the Emmy loser support group, okay? Fred Savage made an appearance. I'm a huge Fred Savage fan. I thought that was hilarious. How did Jason Alexander not win an Emmy? That's crazy. That's crazy in itself.
Insane. Costanza not winning is always like, I mean, he should have won. The timing on that man, he should have won.
Erica goes like this. She doesn't care. All right, let's move on to Conan O'Brien. What did you think about when he heckled the first time? I thought that was funny. The second time when he went up with Stephen Colbert, I was uncomfortable.
Well, let's be honest. Conan O'Brien was feeling no pain.
It didn't seem
someone
like
it. Someone was overserved, perhaps.
No pain. I'm not saying what it was.
Right.
I'm just saying he appeared to be feeling no pain.
I really liked the Conan bits because I thought he was sort of trolling the drollness of the Emmys, like in real time. So I thought it was really funny when he stood up and did this. He was giving that corner of the room some energy that really needed it. He clearly was feeling no pain. And the second time when he joined the Colbert thing, you're like, is this a bit or is this just getting a little too much? So I liked in the beginning like you, and then I felt a little uncomfortable after.
Yeah, because the speech kind of went on for a long time, right?
Long.
Stephen Colbert?
Yeah.
And they kept wanting to focus on Conan.
And he wasn't part of the bit.
But if the bit was like 10 seconds, it might have worked. It felt like he was up there a long time, and I wasn't even listening to Stephen Colbert anymore. I was like, what is Conan doing? And he kept doing the same thing and like keeping the bit going, and the people around him were trying to help him.
It was
like,
awkward.
Oh my God. It was like one of those moments where you're like at home and you're like, oh my goodness.
It was awkward. It was super awkward.
Kind of like this show, kind of like the way this panel's going right now. Coming up on DBL, we're not done with the Emmys just yet because fashion ruled the night. We've got some of the most talked about outfits. Oh, now we're going to spark up outfit time?
I'm sparked
Here
up
we
the
go.
whole time, trust me.
Sherry Shepherd gives us the scoop on her new movie. And does Fabio have a crush on her?
Closed captioning.
Yeah, so we asked earlier how many people actually watched the Emmys. So if you watched the Emmys last night and you have something to say about it, we'd love to hear from you. I think a lot of people are talking about the diversity based on the representation of diversity versus the payoff of diversity. And I think when we have so many shows that people have invested a lot more time and effort in this year compared to any other year because we were at home when a lot of these shows premiered, and it was almost like we got back to appointment television, even in streaming services when each week, a new episode would drop. So the engagement on social media and the real investment in these shows was so much stronger over the past year than it's been in a very long time because we didn't have any place to go. So you would have thought that maybe there would have been a little bit more sprinkling of, this show wins for Best Director and this is Best Actor and Best Actress, and we saw more shows being recognized, but it didn't end up that way, and that's what everyone's talking about today. So let us know what you think.
Everyone is talking about DBL. And year 5 is going to be big.
I cannot wait.
Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day. Tori Shulman, Al Jackson, Erica Cobb, Jeff Schroeder, Sam Shocker.
This is my show, baby.
Celebrating our 5th year and going strong, DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Last night, the red carpet made a comeback after last year's virtual Emmys. So a lot of people were talking about Anya Taylor-Joy, who wore this yellow satin Dior gown with a long, flowing, bright yellow opera coat. That's what you call that, an opera coat. Emmy winner Michaela Cole wore this neon yellow two-piece dress with a giant bow in the back. Stunning. And Billy Porter always brings it to the red carpet. This time, he wore wings. So some people were divided on Angela Bassett's gown with the ruffles that looked like a giant question mark. It does look like a question mark. And Emma Corrin from The Crown wore something that looked like a swim cap and fingerless gloves with long fingernails. All right, we'll get there. Gillian Anderson also divided the internet with her crop top fringe look. And Coach Beard, Brendan Hunt from Ted Lasso, came dressed as the Monopoly Man. Very nice, very nice. So, Tori, you're all over the fashion. What'd you think about it?
Okay, I loved Anya's dress, if we can actually go to Anya's dress so we can see. I liked the cutout. I love the long yellow. I hated the hair. The hair felt like 1994 prom. And maybe that's because I had that in my 1994 prom, but I didn't love the hair.
I was
How were you going to prom in 94?
It's true. 97, 98, 99, around that time.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like 20s look.
Oh,
it gave
up
me
here?
a vibe a little bit.
Did you guys like it, though? The
I
long
thought she
yellow?
looked great. I thought she looked stunning.
I thought so, too.
She can do no wrong because she has a look that's like the most classic and also unique.
Yes.
But if one more dude got up and started talking about how she brought sex back to chess,
I know.
I was like, yo, you sound real creepy right now, man.
When was sex ever in chess?
When was sex never not in chess? It doesn't matter because she is so smart and all they talked about was her sexiness, which was so stupid. I thought so too.
Oh, I don't want to step in it here. So who did you think wore it best yesterday? Do you have a favorite?
I liked Seth Rogen. I thought was really cute in his orange. I thought he kind of brought a pop of color.
Happy Halloween, buddy.
A little librarian-esque too, and I liked what he had to say. This was Jason Sudeikis, and he actually wore what some people spotted. That's Chris Evans in 2019 at the Oscars. He looks like he kind of either copied or just similar look, right?
Who wore it better?
Definitely Chris Evans.
All right.
Am I right?
I don't know. I like Jason's blue better.
I like the blue, but the cut and tailoring I find better on Chris Evans.
I like the bigger bow tie too.
Oh.
Let's do the side by side.
Can we see
again.
one more
pull that
time?
up one more time?
Yeah. Let's see. Who wore this better?
I think it's Jason.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, Tori, you lost out
I
on
like
that
Chris
one.
Evans on that one. That's
All right.
fair. I like both. And finally, the one I really disliked, and I love her. I took her improv for 10 years. Amy Poehler looked like she was wearing 2 different outfits to 2 different events, and one was like a jacket because she was cold.
So
or
not digging it. What do you think about that belt?
Everything about that outfit was confusing. Everything about it. None of the portions made sense to me. The materials, the satin with the glitter. It looked like she went to a bar and you need a jacket, a blazer, and they're like, here, the maitre d' hands you one. And I love her. And I love her, but I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
You know, I thought always has great style.
Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh,
he
yeah.
looks
Yes.
fantastic. Maybe not that one. That one's a little unique.
Yeah, not a great shot.
You did me dirty on that one, Karen. We could have got a better one on that.
That can't be.
But he looked good from the opening scene when he's on his couch. He's wearing this Versace like robe, and I was like, go get it, Cedric.
Yeah.
But he pulls off the hat look.
Yeah.
He's always buttoned up, and for a bigger guy, he's like tailored. It looked really good last night. I thought he did a great job.
I think Cedric the Entertainer is also something that when people look at that Jason, Chris side by side, Jason and Cedric are like, oh, this is what my man looks like when I gussy him up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know, like it's like a very attainable chic,
You
like
can do it.
where he like walks down the stairs and you're like, damn, I married that.
You can do it.
I wonder if Billy Porter's ever like,
yes.
Billy Porter's like, I'm tired of this. Like he's got to go over and over and big.
He
all the
wins
time.
every time.
He's like,
He loves it.
Can I just wear a black tux?
No,
Oh,
never.
no.
Never.
Coming up on DBL, we're talking with Sherry Shepherd about her new Lifetime movie. Plus, what's the deal with Fabio? Does she have a crush on him, or is it the other way around?
Creepy look.
I'm sticking around for that.
We all know that movement
with resettling refugees is no easy task, let alone doing it in the middle of a deadly wave of COVID-19. However, our research shows the refugees are being screened and vaccinated against COVID-19 and other diseases. Earlier this month, the Virginia Department of Health reported several cases of measles among Afghan refugees. It got people wondering, are the refugees from Afghanistan required to get vaccinated from COVID-19 and other diseases? Let's verify. We went to the Department of Homeland Security to get the answer. A spokesperson told us Afghan refugees are required to be vaccinated against measles, mumps, and rubella, polio, COVID-19, and whatever other age-appropriate vaccinations are required by the CDC. If the refugees have not had those vaccines, they will be given them. The only exceptions are for medical reasons, and DHS takes those on a case-by-case evaluation. So we can verify, yes, Afghan immigrants are required to get several standard vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. If they don't have proof of the vaccination prior to arrival, they will begin receiving the vaccinations when they get here. There's another detail the Department of Homeland Security sent to me. They said each refugee is tested for COVID-19 when they get here. And according to DHS, they're taking every precaution to slow the spread of the virus. With Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
You're not telling me everything. This is not us. Hannah, we talk about things.
I can't take this kind of pressure. What am I not telling you? We hung out, we watched movies, and we fell asleep. It was a boring night.
Who else was there?
Welcome back to DBL. That was a scene from Imperfect Highway, a new Lifetime movie that tackles the topic of mental health in teens. It stars Sherry Shepherd and Nia Sue, and we caught up with them earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Sherry and Nia, welcome to DBL. Now, before we get to your very important movie, Imperfect High, which is so incredibly important, we want to get to it, we do have one special question for you, each from our viewers. So, Sherry, you once dreamed of, quote, frolicking on a beach with Fabio, and he recently said you were very sexy. If he was watching right now, what would you say to Fabio?
I would say to Fabio, I would go out with you, but you said that you like women who like nature and hiking. I don't know where I would pack my wigs to go nature hiking. If you want to take me, get a massage at the Four Seasons to a remote island with a pool and a jacuzzi, I'm so on a date with you. I think you're sexy too.
We're gonna be a matchmaker.
Fabio, the door is open.
The door's open.
I love it. All right, now Nia, obviously you started off on Lifetime's Dance Moms just like YouTube star JoJo Siwa. Now, she's going to be competing on Dancing with the Stars this season. Now, a lot of people are saying it's not fair for professionally trained dancers to compete on Dancing with the Stars. So what would you say to them?
Number one, I've always wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars, so nobody better say anything if I'm on it. Like, let me have my moment. Let me have my moment. I'm so proud of JoJo for doing it too. Having a same-sex dance partner, insane. And like, I've watched Dancing with the Stars my whole entire life. So to that, I would say, you know what? As dancers, especially coming from like a competitive dance world, we don't know how to ballroom dance.
Fair.
We don't. We just do not. And also, there's been like a lot of, dancers, gymnasts on the show. So I feel like it's good to, it keeps your brain sharp. It helps you learn, it's an experience. It's not just about the dancing, it's about performing.
About performing.
I love
that.
it.
All right, Sherry, now let's talk about mental health. It is such an important topic. We talk about it a lot on our show on purpose. How does that play a role in your new Lifetime movie, Imperfect High?
Wow, because it's so relevant right now with mental health, anxiety, drugs. We are losing so many people to drugs and anxiety and mental health. And I think a lot of times, especially teenagers, they have been quarantined for 1.5 years, 2 years, not having any socialization. Everything that they were looking forward to has been snatched away. Graduations, dances, hiking trips, and they're suffering. And I think parents, we don't know how to break through. We don't know how to, pull them back from that depression because we're going through it.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that this movie, shows parents a way to intentionally, be there for their kids so that they don't go down that road.
Now, let's stay on that topic. Nia, you play a teen struggling to fit in. What do you want other teens to learn from your character?
I think the biggest takeaway from this film, and I want people to learn from Hannah, is to get the help that you need. You don't need to struggle alone, and you're not alone. Even if you feel like you are, you're not. You have people around you that love you. There's so many, different places that you can seek help now. So don't be embarrassed to find ways to get help and get the help that you need.
Well, this is Suicide Awareness Month. I'm so glad we're having this discussion. We may be saving lives as we speak. Sherry and Nia, thank you for joining us. And for anyone watching struggling with substance abuse or seeking mental health support, as Nia said, don't be scared. You can contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration's hotline by picking up the phone right now, 1-800-662-HELP. We're so excited to have you and feature this. We're so thankful you did this movie. We'll be right back. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
California's recall election is over. Gavin Newsom remains in office, and soon the bill for the recall will come due, leading some Twitter users to ask, who pays for it? So let's verify. Does the losing party or other candidates pay for the California recall election? Our sources are the state's Department of Finance, the Legislative Analysis Office, and the California Secretary of State. In July, finance officials estimated the recall would cost $276 million. These costs include overseeing the election and expenses for mailing ballots, counting votes, running poll sites, and other expenses. Since the procedures for a recall are part of state law, the California legislature must allocate the funds to run the election, and that money comes from taxpayers. So it's false that the losing party or other candidates paying for the California recall election. The cost is paid by taxpayers. Candidates only have to pay for campaign expenses like advertisements and rallies. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. So, Tori, you had a fun question for the panel.
No, I was just wondering who could pull off wings, like Billy Porter, as we saw, of the hosts. Who could pull that off the most?
Get a three-shot of us, please. Who do you think could pull off wings?
Oh, us?
Yeah.
I could pull off some wings.
Of course.
She wins.
Flying with wings.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Please come back.
Please.